Yes, children. Today I am going to teach you in Unit 1 Production Possibility Curve. Okay. As the economy deals with a system where the instruments of the economy help the economic system to work, right? And what are the three instruments of the economy? Production, consumption, and investment, right? So out of these three instruments, production is the major instrument of the economy. Why? Because it fulfills the consumption needs of the economy, right? So every economy has to produce the goods, right? And production possibility curve helps us to know that within the given resources and the constant state of technology, how the production is being produced in an economy. And production possibility curve helps us to also understand that with the limited resources, the economy has to produce two goods at a time. These goods can be consumption goods or capital goods together, or either of the two goods at a time. Okay. Now let us learn what exactly is this production possibility curve. When I have to define it, I would define it as it is a graphical representation of the various combinations of two goods that an economy can produce with the given technologies, where the resources are scarce again, and it also assumes that the resources are fully and efficiently utilized or employed during this production process. Okay, right? So PPC is this. It has got few assumptions, right? This particular theory is based on a certain assumptions, and they are said to be as the assumptions of PPC. So this PPC also indicates that whenever the economy produces the goods, okay, it shows the different attainable combinations, right, where the economy is able to possibly produce these goods at a time. Okay, and what are those? Two of the any goods at a time, either the two goods of the same category or the capital good as well as a consumption good. Okay. PPC also helps us to understand how the problems of the economy, that is central problems of the economy, what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce, can be solved. Okay. So this PPC is based on the assumptions. Okay. What are those assumptions? The available resources are fixed, right? As I've always said, in a short-run process, the resources are variable as well as fixed. Okay. But these are fixed. Why do we call them as fixed? Because these cannot be changed in a short run period of production, right? In the long run period of production, all the resources become variable, right? These resources, even the fixed resources, can be changed during the production process, but in the short run process, only the variable factors can have in some certain changes, but the fixed factors of production, say for example land or the money or the machinery, right, these cannot be changed. Okay, so always apart from this, the variable as well as the fixed factors are fixed during the production process, right? And the technology remains unchanged or constant. How does the technology remain unchanged? Because during a production process, all of a sudden the technology cannot be changed, right? It has to remain constant. Okay. So altogether, as I said, the machinery cannot be purchased at the very now and then, right? And it cannot be changed, right? So the technology or the factors are always constant. The resources are fully employed or efficiently employed. Now, during the production process, if the resources are not fully employed, then it will always show underdevelopment or underproduction. Okay, and the attainable combinations cannot be achieved, right? So that is why the resources are fully used. They are to be used in such a way that these are efficiently employed, and the marginal opportunity cost increases when resources are transferred or transformed from production of one good to another. Now here comes the transformation of resources. Whenever the marginal opportunity cost is considered, it has always been assumed in terms of the change in one good to produce more or additional unit of a other good. Okay, so that is why it says that marginal opportunity cost always increases whenever the resources are transformed from one resource to the other, or from one commodity to produce more of the other commodity, right? I'll explain this with the help of an example. So as I've said, it is a tabular or graphical presentation of combination of two goods. When I say production possibility curve is a graphical presentation of various combinations of two goods, this can be explained with the help of this particular table. Okay, and whenever we talk about such tables, we are talking about the schedule in economics. Okay, so these are called as a tabular presentation of a certain data which has been given. So here we are talking about the production possibility, okay, different production possibilities, and how this particular tabular presentation will be converted into a graphical presentation thereon, right? So A, B, C, D, E, F, these are the production possibilities, right? Say for example, this point A indicates this unit 1 of production possibility, 2, 3, 4, 5 exactly, right? And two commodities which are considered here are wheat and pulses. Of course, these are to be considered in terms of quintals. So when 0 unit of wheat is produced, 15 units of pulses are being produced, right? 15 units in terms of quintals are being produced for pulses. When 1 unit of wheat is produced, 14 units of pulses are being produced. When 2 units of wheat is produced, 12 units of pulses are being produced. When 3 units of wheat are produced, 9 units of pulses are being produced. When 4 units of wheat is produced, 5 units of pulses are being produced. And when 5 units of wheat are produced, 0 units of pulses are being produced. You can see this here. What does this indicate? And as I explained this in the last lecture also, that marginal opportunity cost keeps on increasing, right? As one more additional unit of a good is being produced or sacrificed in order to produce the more of the other. Okay. Now this is MOC, where you can see whenever the next production process takes place or the next unit has been produced, one of the other is being sacrificed. You can see this, and the one unit which you can see here, you can see the change here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means with every production of the unit of the commodity, right, there is a change or there is an increase in the production of the unit of a commodity, right? Vice versa, you can see this. That means when 0 units of wheat is produced, maximum unit of pulses has been produced, right? Then when 1 unit of wheat has been produced, 14 units, that means 1 unit of pulses has been reduced. In the same way here, 2 units have been reduced. Here around 5 units have been reduced, right? So you can see this accordingly, right? So altogether, what I mean to say is, every time whenever the resources of pulses are being used to produce more unit of wheat, that means these resources which were being utilized to produce the pulses have been sacrificed to produce more of wheat, right? But that doesn't mean that production of pulses has been stopped. It is not so. Both the commodities are produced, but vice versa. When there is 0 units of wheat produced, maximum units of pulses are produced. And when there is 0 units of pulses produced, maximum unit of wheat has been produced, right? This can be explained with the help of this graph. Okay, this is said to be as a graphical presentation of the table given here, right? So on the y-axis I have plotted pulses, and on the x-axis we have plotted wheat. That is good x and good y. You can easily notice this, children. These are the different points. Okay, this is combination A, this is combination B, C, D, E and F, which are given here, right? You can see here when maximum units of pulses, that is 15 units of pulses have been produced, right? 0 units of wheat has been produced, right? Okay. When 1 unit of wheat has been produced, 14 units of pulses have been produced, right? So as on you can see, children, the production of wheat and pulses both is taking together. At the same time, you can see the units of wheat have been increased, whereas with every production, the unit of pulses are decreasing, right? With every unit of production, the production of pulses has been decreased, and at the same time, the units of wheat have increased, right? So here, when the production is 3 units of wheat, 9 units of pulses have been produced, right? So this change you can see during the production process. These are the different possibilities. The point where you can see this D and the difference between the point D and E indicates, as well as from the difference between the D, E and F. All these indicate that the utilization of the resources has taken place efficiently. At the same time, there is also transformation of resources of the sources which are used to produce pulses, and the sources which are used to produce pulses have been transformed to increase the production of wheat. You can see this here, children. So the production of wheat is increasing as the production of pulses decreases. But at the same time, both the commodities are produced. It is not so that one production has increased so the other production has decreased, right? Both the commodities are being produced. So with the help of this PPC, we can understand that how the economy produces two commodities at a time in an economy, as well as during a production process, as well as in order to increase the production of the other unit, the resources of the first unit are being transformed, right? And this shows the marginal opportunity cost, that is the sacrifice of the one unit to produce more of the other unit. Okay, the sacrifice of one unit to produce more of the other unit. Are you getting it, children? Right? You can see this with every increase in production of the wheat. Here, every time the units of pulses have decreased, right? Every time the units of pulses have decreased and the units of wheat have been increased, right? So this is what is the presentation or the graphical presentation of PPC. Further, when we are going to learn about this graphical presentation of PPC, we will be learning about the different points which indicate which are below the attainable combinations, which are above the attainable combinations. Okay, what indicates inefficiency or what indicates the growth of the production, these will be learning. But now I'm explaining the properties of production possibility curve. There are two properties, children. PPC slopes downwards and PPC is convex to the point of origin. Now, why does this PPC slope downwards? As you know, there is fuller utilization of resources during a production process, and with this fuller utilization of resources, that means when the resources are completely employed together and efficiently, right? Both the goods cannot be produced in an increasing order, right? That means both the goods cannot be produced with increase in productivity of both the goods at a time. So there is always more production of one good where it is associated with the less production of the other good, as we have seen this when we have learned about the marginal opportunity cost. Okay, so it is always, the production process is always associated with increase in production in one good and the decrease in production of the other good, as both the goods are to be produced at the same time in an economy, right? As well as it is also because of the scarcity of resources. So because of this scarcity, one good is to be produced more and the other good is to be produced less, where it has been the technology or the resources are transformed from one resource to another, from one commodity to another commodity production. Okay. So it states that in a fuller utilization of resources condition of production, both the goods cannot be increased, and more production of one good is associated with less production of the other. And as the resources are scarce, these resources are to be transformed from one product to other production, or one production of good to the other production of good. The second property is PPC is concave to the point of origin. Why is it so? Because MOC tends to rise. As I said, as the production increases, the marginal opportunity cost or the marginal opportunity keeps on rising. Okay. We can also term it as the marginal opportunity cost or the marginal rate of transformation of resources from one unit of production to the other unit of production of the other good. That means when we produce two goods at a time, the transformation of resources of good Y are being transformed to produce one more additional unit of good X, and this indicates the marginal rate of transformation, that is change in Y for change in X. So when you draw this diagram, children, you must have seen it, right? When I plotted the tabular presentation, I had explained about this. So this is the point of origin, and as the resources are being transformed from goods X to produce more of good Y, the shape of the PPC becomes like this, that is downward sloping, as well as it becomes concave to the origin, right? It is taking a concave shape. What does that increase? What does that indicate? It indicates the change in Y for change in X. That means sacrifice of or the transformation of resources of Y good to produce more additional units of X good. I suppose it is clear to all of you.